Nero. The name itself evokes images of tyranny, debauchery, and artistic madness. His reign from 54 to 68 AD was a whirlwind of political intrigue, artistic ambition, and shocking brutality. Nero's story is a potent cocktail of power, passion, and ultimately self-destruction. It is a stark reminder that absolute power in the hands of the unstable can have devastating consequences. Nero Claudius Caesar Augustus Germanicus was born in 37 AD. His father, Gnaeus Domitius Ahenobarbus, was a man of notoriously foul temper, known for his violent outbursts and lack of political acumen. But his mother, Agrippina the Younger, was a woman of fierce ambition and steely determination. She was not just any woman, she was a force to be reckoned with in the male-dominated world of Roman politics. She was the sister of Caligula, and saw in her son a chance to reclaim her family's grip on power. Agrippina was relentless, always plotting and scheming to ensure her son would rise to the highest echelons of power. Agrippina orchestrated her way into the heart and bedchamber of her own uncle, the Emperor Claudius. She used her charm and cunning to become his wife, securing her position within the imperial family. She then manipulated him into adopting Nero as his heir, sidelining his own son, Britannicus. This move was a masterstroke, ensuring that her son would be next in line for the throne. When Claudius died suddenly in 54 AD, likely poisoned at Agrippina's behest, the power dynamics in Rome shifted dramatically. Agrippina's meticulous planning had paid off. The 17-year-old Nero ascended to the throne, marking the beginning of a new era. Under his rule, Rome would experience both grandeur and chaos, forever influenced by his mother's ambition and machinations. Nero's early reign showed promise. He surrounded himself with advisors like the philosopher Seneca and the Praetorian prefect Burrus. Together, they implemented reforms and stabilized the empire. But the young emperor chafed under the constraints of power and the watchful eye of his mother. His relationships were a tangle of love, lust, and deadly intrigue. He fell passionately for a freed woman named Acte, much to the horror of the Roman elite. When Agrippina tried to intervene, Nero stripped her of her power and banished her from Rome. Free from his mother's influence, Nero's true nature began to emerge. He indulged in extravagant artistic pursuits, seeing himself as a gifted poet, musician, and charioteer. He staged lavish games and performances, often participating himself, much to the scandal of the Roman aristocracy. His behavior became increasingly erratic and cruel. Nero eventually murdered his mother in 59 AD. He first tried to kill her by drowning, arranging for her to be on a boat in the Baia Bay that was designed to sink. However, when the scheme failed and Agrippina managed to swim to safety, Nero became anxious and indecisive. His counselors then intervened, dispatching centurions to complete the task. As they neared her at her seaside villa, realizing what awaited her, Agrippina gestured towards her womb and spoke her last words: "Strike here." Nero's tumultuous life included multiple marriages. His first wife, Octavia, was compelled to commit suicide by him. His second wife, Poppaea Sabina, died when Nero, angered by her criticism, kicked her while she was pregnant. His third wife, Statilia Messalina, only married Nero after he forced her husband, the consul Marcus Junius Festinus Atticus, to commit suicide in 66. Nero also had relationships with men, marrying his freedman Pythagoras, who he wed in a peculiar ceremony in 64, and Sporus, a young boy Nero had castrated and then married in 67. Like Caligula, Nero also assaulted senators' wives. In 64 AD, a fire erupted in the merchant district and raged for 6 days and 7 nights. The inferno consumed everything in its path, leaving a trail of destruction and chaos. The flames leaped from building to building, fueled by the wooden structures and the dry summer air. Much of the city was reduced to ashes. The once bustling streets were now filled with the charred remains of homes, shops, and temples. If you're enjoying this deep dive into history, don't forget to like and subscribe for more fascinating content. Rumors spread like wildfire that Nero himself had started the blaze, either out of malice or a desire to rebuild Rome in his own image. Whispers of conspiracy and betrayal echoed through the streets, as citizens pointed fingers and sought someone to blame for the catastrophe. While the truth remains shrouded in mystery, Nero used the fire as an opportunity to reshape the city. He saw the devastation as a blank canvas, a chance to create a new Rome that reflected his grand vision and ambition. He commissioned the Domus Aurea, his opulent golden house, which sprawled across the devastated landscape. This magnificent palace was adorned with lavish decorations, intricate mosaics, and stunning frescoes, showcasing Nero's taste for luxury and extravagance. He also implemented new building codes, widening streets, and mandating the use of fireproof materials. These reforms aimed to prevent such a disaster from happening again, ensuring the safety and resilience of the rebuilt city. The new Rome rose from the ashes, stronger and more magnificent than ever before. Nero's excesses and his increasingly tyrannical rule fueled resentment throughout the empire. His lavish lifestyle and disregard for the well-being of his people created widespread discontent. The once glorious reign of the Julio-Claudian dynasty was now marred by his erratic behavior and cruel policies. In 68 AD, rebellion erupted in Gaul, led by the governor Gaius Julius Vindex. Vindex, a respected leader, rallied his troops and called for the end of Nero's tyranny. His bold move inspired others to consider the possibility of a new leadership. The revolt was quickly suppressed, but it signaled the beginning of the end for Nero. Despite the failure of Vindex's rebellion, the message was clear. Nero's rule was no longer unchallenged. The empire was ripe for change. Other governors saw an opportunity to seize power. Ambitious leaders across the empire began to plot and scheme, each hoping to become the next emperor. The political landscape of Rome was now a hotbed of intrigue and ambition. Nero, abandoned by his allies and declared a public enemy by the Senate, fled Rome. His once loyal supporters turned their backs on him, leaving him isolated and vulnerable. The emperor, who once ruled with an iron fist, was now a fugitive. He committed suicide, reportedly uttering the words, "What an artist dies in me." His death was a dramatic and tragic end to a tumultuous reign. The empire was left in a state of uncertainty and chaos. His death marked the end of the Julio-Claudian dynasty and plunged Rome into a year of civil war known as the Year of the Four Emperors. This period was characterized by rapid changes in leadership, as four different men claimed the title of emperor in quick succession. The empire was engulfed in conflict, with each faction vying for control. Nero's legacy is a complex and contradictory one. He is remembered as a tyrant who murdered his own mother, wife, and countless others. His extravagance and cruelty knew no bounds. Yet, he was also a patron of the arts and a visionary builder who left an indelible mark on the city of Rome. His architectural innovations, including the Domus Aurea and his new building codes, helped to shape the urban landscape for centuries to come. Nero remains one of the most enigmatic figures in Roman history. Was he a monster driven mad by power, or was he a misunderstood visionary whose artistic temperament clashed with the brutal realities of Roman politics? The answer, like so much else about Nero, is lost to the mists of time. Nero's legend, like the flames that consumed Rome, continues to fascinate and repel us centuries later. And now, as we close this chapter on Nero, remember that history is not just about the past, it's a mirror reflecting the complexities of human nature. We would like to take a moment to thank our sponsor, Ocean Antiques. They offer a wide variety of ancient coins and antique maps that connect you to the past and bring history to life in your hands. Thank you for supporting our channel and helping us bring history to life.